Boys with hair.
You look hot. Are we rolling?
Yeah,
we've
we've
been
been rolling.
Oh, hey guys. You know what's going on. Welcome to this week's episode of
Boys with hair.
And I know my buddy Jameson. Him.
Me.
Wanted to talk about a few things, so go ahead, my man.
Alrighty. So the current year is 2020.
That it is.
Last year was 2019, and I thought it'd be a good idea to just talk about some of our favorite albums or movies from 2019 that really left an impact on us. So
Definitely.
Jack, you want to take it away?
Yeah, so I would mention Joker, but I feel like we discussed that already last episode, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that.
Right,
I liked it, but enough.
I just destroyed it.
Yeah, for real. What was the name of that movie? Oh my god. Okay, so you're gonna hate me, but there's this movie that I really liked that the name of it I cannot remember. It was like,
So there's this movie, and I have no idea what it is.
dude, Jameson, me too. But it was like, I think it was Us. Us. That's the one I was thinking of.
That was good.
I really liked Us. I just am really about thrillers in general that have a really odd twist. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the one where it's the family, and then it's
The other family.
the other family, and then later they find out that there's a whole underground world full of duplicates of everybody.
Yeah. With Jordan Peele, it was like a spiritual successor to Get Out.
Yeah, and then they had
Not as good though.
Yeah,
not to be mean, but I liked Get Out more. But Us was still good.
no, Get Out was fantastic.
Yeah.
That I did not see coming, but Us was really good, I will say. But I will say that it did leave me confused a few times, when there were when people would be holding up that Bible verse. You remember that?
No.
There was a specific Bible verse or that would be referenced constantly. It was you know how it's usually random Jesus 1:1, you know what I mean? How Bible verses are kind of worded like that. Well, there was one that they kept holding up and it kept being referenced, or would keep you'd see it on things, and I didn't know what it was, and I guess that was suspense for the end, but I got impatient and I looked it up on my phone during the movie.
Yeah.
I was just oh, it was something really stupid.
Fair
And
enough.
yeah, and it was just sort of foreshadowing for the end of the movie when they found out that all those people were there.
They're
And,
just gonna spoil the end of the movie.
I mean, dude, it's 2020. It's been it's
been
the
a
next
year.
year. If you haven't seen it, sucks.
Quit living in the past.
But yeah, and then there was a time when all of those people in red were lined up, and I guess it was leading to that, but at the same time I was just what the it was good. I loved it, but it was just 90% of the movie I was what the hell?
Yeah. It was a weird movie. My favorite movie of 2019 was Honey Boy. And Honey Boy, if you don't know, is written by Shia LaBeouf and it was written in therapy. He
wrote it in therapy.
Yeah, because he had to go to rehab because, it's Shia LaBeouf. And the movie is basically about his life and his dad and stuff, living with his dad.
Yeah.
And he plays his dad in the movie, and it got to me. It
Really?
really got me sad.
actually?
Yeah, it was a really great movie. I was surprised how good it was.
Does somebody else play Shia LaBeouf?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They're not even named Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, it's just
They're named Otis.
Okay,
which
so
is
it's
far from Shia LaBeouf.
so it's implied, but
yeah.
okay.
This. Oh my god! I keep bumping the mic with my chin.
The accidentally.
Yeah. The movie starts out with the character basically filming Transformers.
Oh,
And then he's
Yeah.
filming Even Stevens and stuff like that.
even Stevens was awesome. Just gonna throw that out there.
I don't remember any of it.
I
was,
just remember
3.
liking it. I don't remember what it was about. I will remember if I can shift gears for a second. I can remember bits and pieces of old shows without remembering the basic plot. I remember this episode of That's So Raven where they were in this model of a human digestive system, and random pieces of food would be falling down on them, and but Raven and her friends were having a deep, meaningful moment within this scenario, and it was kind of weird. And I remember that episode very vividly. And I remember the theme song where she's like, "And you can gaze into the future. Your whole life will be a breeze." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's like, that's all I can remember from That's So Raven.
I have a question for you. Did you ever watch Phil from the Future or whatever it was?
I would watch it when nothing else was on. Like
Literally.
if I was too lazy to get off the couch and change the channel, and the remote was over there, and I'd just be sitting there like, "Yep, Phil."
There is a movie I know. I'm pretty sure you've seen it that came out last year. Sorry to cut you off there.
You're good, man. No worries.
The Lighthouse. I loved The Lighthouse so much.
Lighthouse.
It was so good. It was so good.
The Lighthouse was interesting. I saw it twice because the first time I didn't know what the heck I just saw.
When I watched it, I watched it at the Esquire, and I was like,
Yeah, so did I.
I was like shaking when I left. I was like, like I was like a little baby.
Dude, I was with two of my buddies, and one of them was like really into it, and I was trying to be really into it. But then, you know that friend you have that will go to like a horror movie or like a thriller with you and make a joke out of every single thing and ruin the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was with us too, and it was like,
that's
yeah. So like anytime something like interesting happened or like, what's his face, young guy,
Robert Pattinson.
yeah, Robert Pattinson was like starting to get a little crazy. He'd just be sitting here like, what the. I'm like making jokes. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like
every I think most movies I saw in 2019 I saw by myself, like in the back half. Special shout out to Aiden, my friend Aiden. We were gonna go see Joker at the AMC together the day of. Like I had gotten the tickets the night before. The day of, he canceled on me. Granted,
why?
He had more homework than he thought. But listen, Aiden, I'm still kind of upset about it.
Well, you heard it here first. Aiden Jameson is still upset about it.
Yeah. Did you see Knives Out at all?
No, actually, that's on my list of things, movies to watch because
really
I heard it's fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. Chris Evans in that movie. Pretty boy.
You said.
Literally.
Oh, what was that? There's going to be a theme here. I'm going to forget all the movies I'm talking about. So you're going to have to remind me which one because that's just the way I work.
Yeah.
That one where it's like that woman married into that family and she had to play
Ready
a
or
game.
Not.
Ready or Not.
I didn't see that.
Ready or Not was phenomenal.
I heard it was good.
It was like, so obviously basic plot, woman marries into this family, but to marry into this family, she has to play like a game, like a real life iteration, like a deadly iteration of a board game. Or like a whatever, and hers is like hide and seek, and everybody's like freaking out because I guess hide and seek is like the worst one, and basically it's just a big manhunt for her. And it's weird and it's interesting and it's really cool, so I would recommend it.
Did you see Ad Astra?
I did not.
Other names for Ad Astra include Rad Masterpiece or Sad Bradstra, because Brad Pitt is in it. And he's sad, and it's in space.
Oh, wow.
It's a slow burn.
That's really
but
clever,
it's really
Jameson.
good. Yeah, I know.
Did you think of that yourself?
No.
Oh, man. I was really
I'm very
pulling for you.
uncreative.
It's
I think
okay, man.
I'm pretty sure automatically one of the biggest movies of last year was Avengers Endgame.
Endgame.
It was pretty big.
Endgame. We could spend an entire podcast talking about Endgame.
So let's not.
So let's not. But why don't we?
Good.
Why don't we designate like a minute or two? Because I want to talk about Endgame.
I think Infinity War was a better movie, but I like Endgame more.
Yeah, I think Endgame just like tied everything together pretty well, and it was just really satisfying. You know, spoiler alert, I guess, to see like the portals open up and like T'Challa and everybody else come out, and you're just like, ooh, it was badass. When Cap picked up Mjolnir, dude, I like squealed like a little girl in my seat. I was just about to say I squealed like a little girl. It was awesome.
That entire third act, I was just like,
yeah,
like
exactly.
Really
that movie,
excited.
Dude, that movie was 3 hours long, like over 3 hours.
Like no, it was like 3 hours and 1 minute or something like that.
Yeah, it was long, but I saw it like 6 times.
I only saw it once.
Yeah, no, I was really into it.
I've seen it more than once because like I got that DVD on day one because like how could I not?
I don't have the DVD, Jameson.
Buy more DVDs. That's all I gotta say.
And we're in a world of digital video, Jameson. DVDs are slowly becoming irrelevant. Unless you say you have a Laserdisc player, I'd suggest stop shoving your
Beliefs down your
physical. Yeah, let's deal with that.
Did you see Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler?
You know what's funny is I saw like the first half of it because one of my buddies pirated it.
Can you say that a little louder?
Yeah, he.
Oh yeah, that was so much louder. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I got you, dude.
I thought it was pretty good. I kind of think it got overhyped for me when I saw it at first.
Yeah.
But ever since, I was like, that movie was so awesome.
I feel like it was interesting because funny you say Adam Sandler because he's just the dude's become such like a goon and like a, I don't want to say laughing stock, but you know,
But a laughing stock.
exactly. And it feels like a lot of people don't take his movies seriously because you've seen Jack and Jill. You've seen
I've not because I don't want to.
Jack and Jill. I saw like 10 minutes of it when it was on TV and I was at my parents' house and I just see Adam Sandler talking to female Adam Sandler and they both have the same, I'm going to get away from the mic for this. They both have the same Adam Sandler energy and it is quite the spectacle. Not to mention that they half the main cast are whatever children. And they're just like,
no, yeah.
female Adam Sandler, what are you gonna do? And Jack and Jill.
I feel like Adam Sandler is among those actors that are like actually not bad actors. They're just really bad movies. Him and like Nicolas Cage are like the kings of good actors in bad movies.
For real.
I will die on the hill that Nicolas Cage is a good actor. Have you seen Ghost Rider?
I have seen Ghost Rider. It's pretty tight. But
Pretty dope.
to answer your question earlier, I have seen the first half of that movie. Speaking of movies, I'd like to shift gears a little bit and spend some time talking about some video games. So this is a new segment for us. Don't laugh at me, please, Jameson.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I like to call this Game Corner. Now, I really want to spend this time not just talking about like video games in general, but going over like a cool game every other week that people may not know about. So the one I want to talk about today, it's called Sayonara Wild Hearts. Now, it was developed by Annapurna Interactive, and when I first saw this game, I was at an arcade, and I was just sort of walking around, and I saw this game, and I will admit, I really like fast-paced and like colorful games. So I see this game going on, and I'll get into it later. I'll probably put some footage up here at some point. But I was like, what is this? And I start playing it, and the entire game, it's like this dreamy arcade game about like riding motorcycles, skateboarding, dance battling, shooting lasers, and breaking hearts at like 1,000,000 miles per hour.
Are you used to breaking hearts, Jack? Are you a heartbreaker? Don't break my achy breaky heart, Jack.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. But I liked it so much I downloaded it on my PS4 and I literally 100%ed it in like the week that I bought it. I spent 1,000,000 hours on it, but it's great and it's fantastic. I would recommend it to anybody, especially considering that it's sort of like a pop album in a game because each level is a different song.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it's sort of a rhythm game as well because you'll be going around like one level, you're on a motorcycle and you're like trying to collect all these hearts and you're trying to shoot off these enemies, but each of it is like each like interaction is to like a rhythm and it's badass. And there's also like these zodiac riddles, which I didn't even know until I checked because I'd beaten the game and I checked my PlayStation, like my trophies.
Yeah.
And I didn't have any trophies for the game after beating it. And I was like, what? And I saw they were all like zodiac riddles, like Sagittarius A, Sagittarius B, and they were all like different quests. And I was really confused. Right.
I was thinking of Zodiac Killer.
Ted Cruz. But and,
oh my God.
but like I went back in and there was like a little option where it was like Zodiac riddle. It literally said Zodiac riddles, and I go and sure enough there's just a bunch of challenges, but they're like riddles. So you have to solve the riddle, figure out what it is, and then proceed to go carry out that challenge, and then you get it. And there's like 24 different ones, or however many. But it's really interesting. It adds a lot of replay value to the game, and I just think this game is not as talked about as it should be because I see it. I see it everywhere now that I know what it is. But I feel like I mentioned to other people, and they're just like, "Yeah, what is that?"
It's so rude of other people.
I know
They should
other
know.
people, but no, it is on Switch. It is on PlayStation 4. It is literally on mobile too. It's on Apple Arcade. So if you ever get the chance, check out Sayonara Wild Hearts. You will not regret it.
You heard it here first. You won't regret it.
Thank you for tuning in to Game Corner. Anyway,
So, okay, back to the 2019 discussion. What were some albums that came out in 2019 that you were like really into?
so I know I'm already going to deviate from 2019, but there was just like an album that came out recently that I am just obsessed with, and it's Circles by Mac Miller.
Oh.
It's now, I'll admit, I agree, like in a good way.
Yeah.
I was never really into Mac Miller when I was younger, but then, or I guess when he was getting his start, but I started listening to his songs like recently, and I started really liking him. And then when Circles came out, I was a little skeptical because I feel like a post-death album release.
Posthumous albums recently, especially for rappers, have not been good. Like
No.
X, Lil Peep, they're bad.
Yeah,
So-
not only are they bad, but like when they're bad, it feels like a cash grab on like the studio or the company's part, and it's just weird. That being said, Circles was like complete. I feel like
I think it was mostly complete, and I think his producer was like a good friend of his too, so he like had an idea of what Mac wanted to make too.
exactly, and it was really like a lot of the songs in there are really good. Like Good News is the first one that came out, and it's I just got like red in the like I could just feel like my freaking tear ducts like swelling up just talking about it. Like when I
Yeah.
first heard that and watched the music video, I was sobbing.
Yeah.
Like it made me really existential. But then there's songs like Blue World, which like in the first part of it, there's like that sort of like 50s like sample, which actually is inspiration for a little jingle.
Boys with hair.
Boys with Hair. And it's just got a really wide variety, and it's just Mac talking about, you know, getting better and doing well and like living life, man. And it kind of hurts when you listen to it knowing what's
Yeah.
going on now, but at the same
Yeah.
time it's a beautiful album. I
think-
really love it.
I think my favorite song on that album is probably Hand Me Downs.
Hand Me
Hand-Me-Downs
Downs is
is
great.
so good.
That is a good one. But sorry, I know you said
good.
2019,
You're
but
good.
I just
No.
really wanted to talk about
No,
Circles.
yeah, you're fine. I don't know if it was a 2019 album, but one of my top favorites. It's kind of funny. It was Harry Styles' new album, Fine Line.
Yeah.
That album was actually pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Dude, One Direction, like I used to, you know, give him crap all the time because you know, we were in middle school, we're like, ew, One Direction, all the girls like One Direction, yeah.
And they don't like me.
So they're and they don't like me. Exactly. But One Direction, like a few of them have done solo work, like Zayn and Harry Styles.
It's literally only Zayn and Harry that did good.
I know they're
You don't hear
they're
about
great.
any of the other three.
Irrelevant because they're great, dude. They're great.
I don't even think Zayn makes music really anymore.
I remember he made Pillow Talk.
And that song was good.
Yeah,
He made that song with Sia.
that he did.
Yeah, and those are the only two I know.
Go out with a bang. But anyway, you were talking
Yeah.
about the
Even his first album, I think it was just a self-titled album or like an untitled album.
yeah.
Was really good. But this album, I don't know. It's like, some people would probably not like the idea of like clashing sounds and like genres, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But he really blends like a funky sound on some songs. Like she has the funkiest bass of 2019, and he has like some folk songs too. Like I would say even like the title track "Fine Line" was pretty folky.
That is one I have heard, and I can attest to that. It's folky, but
and it's so good. It hits so hard.
if I can attest, it's pretty folking good. I'm sorry. Anyway,
You're fired.
see you guys.
But I think that one was great. I think another big album of last year was Post Malone's "Hollywood's Bleeding."
Hollywood's Bleeding is fantastic.
That was also really good. It was really good.
Dude, that also made me get really existential. What would you say your favorite songs on that album were?
I think it's like "Take What You Want" with Ozzy Osbourne on it.
That's a good one.
That's like How does Post Malone have the song with the best guitar solo of 2019? I feel like that's weird.
Because he's Post Malone,
That's
dude.
Post
He just doesn't care.
yeah, either
He's cool.
Either Take What You Want or Circles. Speaking of
Circles is good.
Circles. Oh, dude.
I really like Allergic's on that album, right?
Yeah.
I love Allergic.
I like every part of that song except the part where it just goes allergic.
Yeah,
It
I agree.
annoys me so much.
I
like,
agree.
Oh my god.
I like the
stop.
whole rest of the song is really good because it's got like this upbeat tune, but then when you actually listen to what he's saying, talking about like being friends with his demons and everything, you're just like, oh wow, like Post, you good, man?
I can't drown my demons. They know how to swim.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then Goodbyes is good too.
Oh, Goodbyes is good. Goodbyes is good until Young Thug's on it. Sorry to any people that are Young Thug fans. I don't. He's like got a good voice, but he's like,
it just
his
doesn't
actual
work in this
rapping
instant.
is not good in my opinion.
It kind of kills the song's
Yeah.
vibe. You know what I mean?
It shows the momentum.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Favorite album of 2019. Actually, a 2019 album. Believe it or not. Igor.
Oh, really? Okay. I listened to it once all the way through. I love Tyler the Creator.
Mhm.
He's one of my favorite rappers. Probably my second favorite rapper.
This
if I'm
has a
gonna be
butt,
honest.
doesn't it?
But I just it wasn't just my. It just wasn't my thing. I'm not gonna be like it's the worst album because like I liked Earthquake. That's what
For
it's
real
called.
this time.
It's called
Jameson.
Earthquake. But it's I don't know. It
It's
just
okay.
wasn't my thing.
I'll be real with you. I think the I think the album had about 10 or 11 songs, give or take.
Yeah.
I liked like 80% of this album I really enjoyed, but there were just a few songs that I really didn't like.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Igor's Theme is one of those songs that I didn't like.
I feel like Igor is Tyler's version of like Awaken My Love for Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Because it's very much not necessarily rap. It's very much a different thing that they're doing artistically. And I remember back when Awaken My Love came out with for Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
Literally everyone at my high school was like, dude, this album sucks. And I was like, I haven't listened to it yet. So
I'm like, dude, don't, it sucks.
and granted, I still haven't listened to all of it. I need to, but from the songs like that I have heard from it, I actually really like.
Oh, yeah.
it. Like
I love
Me and Your
Childish
Mama, Redbone, You're
Redbone,
Welcome, White America.
dude, Redbone is stellar.
It's a great song.
Dude, okay. So I have the Igor songs pulled up because I forgot them. Now I can tell you which ones I don't like because everybody cares.
Garbage.
Igor's Theme, New Magic Wand,
Isn't that
and
like about a gun or something?
no, you're thinking of A Boy Is a Gun.
Oh, that one's about a gun.
Yeah, and I think there was another one. I can't remember if it was Are We Still Friends or Puppet, but
Yeah.
those are the ones I didn't like are the ones where it's just like really loud noise the entire time. Because the rest of these songs are really, I think they're really pretty. I think they have a lot of, like, they sound cool. They have a lot of value put into them, and like I like the lyrics.
Yeah.
Whereas Igor's Theme and New Magic Wand and whatever the other one I'm thinking of is, they're just like, and I'm just like,
Fair enough.
like I'm whatever on them, but I know some people really like them. So, but yeah, other than that, I love Igor. I think it's fantastic.
Personally, I feel like Tyler's best album is Wolf, because I love Wolf so much.
Okay. I'm gonna disagree with you there.
Well, for me, I don't
you?
think in general. I don't think like, because I can't objectively
no.
say this is his best album.
No. I'm picking
Yeah.
up what you're putting down.
Yeah. What's your favorite album by Tyler?
Flower Boy.
That's fair.
And I feel
that's like a close second for me.
I feel like that's everybody's favorite, but I like it just because when it came up, when I listened to it,
Yeah.
I was like going through a really hard time in my life, and
And it was like
a
what
lot
you
of it
needed.
kind of, not to sound like, oh my God, it spoke to me, but
It spoke
I
to
did.
you.
I was the CD talked. It was really like deep and meaningful, and it touched on a lot of the things I was feeling, and it also, when I think of it, I think of like being in a rut and like just starting to get out of that rut, which is a really good feeling if you've ever like, if you've ever been upset and like you just can't seem to get over something, whether it's a breakup, whether it's like the death of a loved one, something
Yeah,
sad, and
yeah.
you finally start to feel yourself getting over it. It's the best feeling in the world, and that's what I associate Flower Boy with, which I think is part of the reason why I like it so much.
Nice. I was about to talk about my favorite album of 2019, but when you said, okay, this is gonna sound like a dark tangent, but when you said like something you listened to after a death of a loved one, my grandma passed away in like 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I mean, thank you.
Yeah.
I was about to say it doesn't matter, but
I
that's not
mean,
what you're supposed to
still.
say. I listened to. It's kind of funny. I listened to a lot of "Wake Me Up When September Ends."
Dude, that
So no, this is the funny part. So for my junior prom, we were allowed to request songs on Twitter for the dance, and I requested that. Everyone hated me. They were like, "Dude, I swear to God, if it gets played, I'm gonna be pissed." And I was like, "It won't." No one liked it because it was like whichever tweet had the most likes and retweets or whatever.
was
It
was
didn't
that
get a
yours?
single like or retweet at all. It played. And I was just like it was shows like a rap song or whatever, like Migos or something, and then all you hear is dun 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 dun. And I was just sitting there
You're just
like
what do I do now?
I saw literally everyone that was grinding turn around to me, and they all looked so furious, but I was just having a great time.
You're just like summer. And everyone else is just like
Literally.
this guy.
This dude. But okay, my favorite album of 2019, as said on the last episode, I'm a big fan of The Maine. And they had a new album come out called You Are Okay. I can't remember if it's
Ooh.
You Are Okay or Are You Okay. I'm pretty sure it's You Are Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Every song is so good.
Yeah.
Because it's cool because, like, obviously they're like, I don't want to say like a pop punk band because they're kind of are but kind of aren't. They're
In
more of
what-
just like a modern rock band,
In
I
what
would say.
sense? I feel bad because like you'll list these bands and like you'll know who I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
then when you mention someone, I'm like, what?
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like when their first album was very pop punky. It was like, or actually, it really was. It was just like tragically mid 2000s music. It was like
Uh,
deeply rooted mid 2000s music.
I can already think of what you're getting.
It sounded like it would be in like a romantic like something in 10 Things I Hate About You, or
Oh my
like
God,
or like Final Destination or
I'm
something
just-
like that.
I'm just thinking of that song where it's like it's party on the rooftop, top of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the two.
Hot
when I
Shell
think
Ray.
of, yeah.
Okay, it's not that because that's more like late 2000s. It's not that much.
Okay, it's not that
Yeah.
severe.
But they evolved into more of like just a rock band. I would say personally, it's still
Yeah.
got like pop punk roots and stuff like that. But this album, You Are Okay, they did something cool where they had like an orchestra like do some of the music. Like their lead single, Numb Without You, I think for the song or for the album, had like a bunch of violins and stuff and like cellos and stuff, and it was so dope. It was so dope. And
Dude.
like,
That's nice.
and if you ever listen to the album, don't just listen to songs. You have to listen like to the album start to finish, because it is.
Oh, it's one of
Amazing.
those.
It's not like you can like listen to them by themselves, but for a first listen, I highly recommend like listening start to finish, because like there's a big correlation between like the first track, Slip the Noose, and the last track, Flowers on the Grave.
Yeah.
They like they're one of those bands where they're like, how do we end an album? Let's end it with like a 7-minute, 8-minute song. But every
Not with a
minute of it
bang.
is so good.
That's good, because I know some bands that can be like they're going way too long, and you're just like, okay, I get
Yeah,
it, you can
okay.
stop now.
Have you ever listened to any Death Cab for Cutie?
I've listened to some.
Have you listened to the song Transatlanticism?
That name rings a bell. I think-
Because
I
it's the
think my
title for an
buddies-
album.
Okay.
And that's obviously like, it's so funny. I heard someone told me once that they were like, "Oh, dude, I hate it when a band or like an artist names the album after one of the songs." I was like,
that happens.
"Why?"
That,
It's not a
one,
big
that
deal.
happens all the time, and two, why does it matter?
Literally. But the title track for Transatlanticism is is a very amazing and beautiful song.
Yeah.
But there was like this album that came out for like a bunch of like pop punk bands that was like songs that saved my life or whatever.
Oh,
And the main did Transatlanticism, and they covered it,
Mm-hmm.
and is one of the few songs that I think is better than the original. It is so good. And now I'm off my soapbox. I apologize.
No, dude, do not apologize. I was, pardon me, I was picking up everything you were putting down, man. There was one thing I wanted to say, regarding something you said. You mentioned that one of the songs had like cellos and it was like had an orchestrated
yeah.
part.
The whole album.
Oh, the whole album.
Yeah, not every song, but like most of the songs have like an orchestral element to it.
That's something I think is really awesome when bands can pull it off, because it just I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. So it's like, you know that feeling when, because I know you were in band in high school. I know you listened to classical music. So was I, and
I'm a nerd.
I'm a bigger nerd. Where it's like the piece is like leading up to this like point, and then it's just like the end where it just like peaks and like the horns are blaring and just like everything's going. It's just like whether it's like a march or whether it's like another piece that's not a march.
Fun fact: me and Jack both were in drumline in high school.
Here's an even more fun fact. The section leader of my drumline my senior year, who I was in concert band with and everything, like we went to high school together, he actually teched Jameson's drumline.
He was like it was my senior year, and I was playing tenors, and he was our tenor tech. That sounds so funny when you say tenor.
I know.
Tenor tech.
Tenor tech.
Yeah. But
he was on because he was on tenors with me my sophomore year, and it was like. And then he just started marching snare, and I just stayed on tenors because I was like, dude, these are pretty cool. But also my left wrist is messed up, so I can't even hold a drumstick traditional if I tried.
Yeah. Shout out to Ray.
Hey, guy.
Hey, man.
This one's for you. Plays like a really obnoxious song.
He plays Forever Young. I want to be forever young.
As we both just like stare into the camera, like I'm like holding down the button, and it's just like we're just both sitting here like vibing, like
just like woo,
like this one's for you, man.
This one's for you.
This goes out to the room.
It's like a DJ at like a
when the mic kills Jameson.
It's like at a DJ at a wedding where it's like, all right, everybody, this one's for Jacqueline.
And he's like, grab somebody special. And he's got his headphones on. He's like. You know what I mean?
And it's like Frankie Valli or something. Like it's so not like
Frankie Muniz, the dude who played Malcolm, and Malcolm in the Middle is on the DJ. He's like, yeah,
Agent Cody Banks.
Agent Cody Banks, big fat liar.
I'm out. I don't remember. I don't know anymore.
All right,
other than those movies.
That's okay. We've reached Jameson's memory bank. We've reached the limit.
Yeah. Do you wanna? Should I do a quick classics corner?
You know what, Jameson? I don't think that's a question for me. I think that's a question for you.
Okay. American Beauty. I watched it.
Yeah?
It was a good movie. The entire time, I was a little uncomfortable, but once it got to the end, I was like, all right. That's a really good movie. It's directed by like the same guy that did 1917. I looked it up. That guy made 1917. He made Skyfall. I think he made the Bond movie after Skyfall. He's like made a surprising amount of movies that I knew. I just didn't know who he was. But,
yeah.
Okay. Regardless of how you feel about Kevin Spacey, personally, I think he's a horrible person, and that's all I'm going to say about it. Yeah. But he does a great job in the film, I will say, as like just like someone who's just like I don't want to say like stuck in life, but like He's
going through the motions.
Yeah, he's like really like not happy. He doesn't have any passion in what he does anymore. And then just one day he's like, I've had enough. And he just like is like, screw it. I'm quitting my job and making them pay me I think it's $60,000 for like leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then because he like threatens them with like lawsuits and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He like he just kind of just does what he wants from like then on, and it's kind of like funny because it's like just a middle-aged man going through a midlife crisis, and
Dude.
it's just like it's interesting to watch. It's a very good film.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I won't have a midlife crisis. I feel like I'll just have like a I'll be like,
whoopsie
oh.
daisies.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'll look at my watch like, oh, I'm old. That sucks.
I'll probably just be like, oh,
and
and that'll be it. I'll just be like, oh no.
oh
I'll just,
man,
like, wake up, look in the mirror, brush my teeth, stare, and just be like, why?
me every day. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to say, I keep having these talking points when you're talking, you keep making me think of things.
You good.
Soundtracks for James Bond movies,
Yeah.
they're stellar.
Oh, dude, okay. Not gonna lie, I haven't seen a single James Bond movie, but it's on my list, I will say. But all of like the songs that come out,
They're good.
yeah, Skyfall by Adele.
Skyfall's great.
Adele in general.
Writings on the Wall by Sam Smith is one of
That
my
was good.
favorite songs of all time. When I first heard that, I kept playing it on repeat.
Have you heard the new one by Billie Eilish?
What's it called again?
No Time to Die.
No, I haven't heard
It's-
that.
Okay, I was expecting it to be really moody and her to do the deep voice.
Like the
but yeah, no, but it's so good. It's like really good. She sounds really great with like an orchestra behind her.
dude, Billie Eilish is 18, and she's like the amount of success.
More successful than I will ever be.
Shut up, Jameson. Just
Shut up.
Just Jameson,
Sit down
just
and
stop.
shut up.
I know this is a podcast, Jameson, but I'm gonna be honest. I wish you would stop talking. No, but she's just really successful and she's really talented, and it's just, dude, Billie Eilish just like,
She's 18 and has like 5 Grammys.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
I know
crazy.
some people that are 16 and pregnant. Like, geez.
Congratulations, Billie Eilish, on not being pregnant.
Congrats. Had to get that out there.
Well, is that all you have for today?
That is all I have for today, Jameson. Is there anything else that you would like to say as we wrap this up?
I would like to say, from last time I checked, we had 101 views on our first episode, and I thought that was pretty dope.
That was pretty dope.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone who watched our podcast last time. Like, honestly, it means a lot, you know? Like,
Yeah, we worked hard, and by we, I mean all I did was do most of that, and then Jack did everything else. I just sat here and talked.
You're you, man. We got chemistry.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but
like
yeah,
nitrogen
seriously.
and hydrogen.
I got a D in chemistry.
So did I.
So I'm not. Anyway, well, I would like to not only thank Bearcast Media for letting us do this podcast, Stephanie Cox for producing our podcast, and Tommy back there for switching. Thanks,
Oh,
guy.
what a cute little boy.
Thanks, guy.
Oh, what a sweet boy.
Okay, enough of that, Tommy. And I know Jameson and I would both like to thank everybody for watching our last podcast.
Yeah,
It
thank
means
you
a lot.
so much.
For real. We don't know what we do.
It was
without you.
it was the kind of self gratification I needed for the day. I'm set for like the week, you know.
Yeah. Cool, Jameson. Well, oh, that just touched my Adam's apple. Well, with that, this has been
Boys with hair.
Bye-bye now.